Hello and good morning. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. My name is Mr. G, your meteorologist. Welcome to Elite Weather. Thank you for joining me today. If you're watching me on YouTube or TikTok, please feel free to subscribe or follow the channel. Leave your comments and your likes. I appreciate that and the support that I've been getting lately. The channels have been slowly growing, so slow and steady growth. So that's good to see. So haven't hit any viral videos yet. So I guess we're gonna keep on trucking and keep on doing what we do here. And we are going to be talking about your weather forecast today. Today is Wednesday, February 7th, 2024. And welcome to the channel, everybody. So as we talk about the weather that we've been seeing across America right now, much of the country has been enjoying abnormally and above average warm. Especially the northern tier of the country, the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest, we've been enjoying temperatures through the 40s and into the 50s. We're expecting a high of 52 across the Twin Cities today into Minnesota, and we've been seeing very wet weather down across the western U.S., the southwest in particular, into central and southern California, where record rainfall has been falling, and we have seen catastrophic flooding. There have been very high winds, power outages. A very high impact storm system is currently affecting the western half of the United States right now, and we've seen some severe weather along the Gulf Coast in the southeast. We finally saw snow across parts of New England and the I-95 corridor, the big cities. Well, they haven't seen snow in almost 2 years. We finally picked up a little bit of snow over the last month or so, but lately the weather has been fairly benign across the east and the northern tier of the country. Most of the active weather this winter or over the last couple of weeks or so has been over the western and the southwestern half of the country right now. But as we take a look at what we have going on today, our city of the day is the first segment we are going to work through in today's video. And our city of the day is Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. We can see downtown Minneapolis in the distance out there. Beautiful city. And I'm pretty sure our camera is on top of one of the buildings in downtown St. Paul. So St. Paul and Minneapolis are right next to each other, and that's pretty much how it looks if you look at it from here. So again, we're going to be expecting showers across Minnesota today, as our highs will be in the 50s. The temperature is currently 41 degrees out there across the Minneapolis and St. Paul area, and so those current temperatures are in the lower 40s, and we're going to be seeing showers work its way across the Twin Cities later today, throughout the day today. We're not going to see any snow with this current storm system, as we're going to have a pattern change with this current storm that's moving across the country now. And as this storm system makes its way to the east, we are going to see that record warmth get pushed to the side, and colder air is going to come in behind the frontal boundary here. But it's still going to remain above average for the season in this time of the year. So even though it's going to turn colder, considering the fact that we are 20 degrees above our seasonal average for early February. So our average high in the Twin Cities is 26 degrees for the 7th of February, but we are going to see those temperatures drop about 20 degrees and still be about 10 degrees above average after the temperature drops 20 degrees. So going to remain above average, but much cooler than what we've been experiencing the last day or two, as we have a string of above average temperatures, very, very below average as far as seasonal snowfall is concerned, where we are not picked up any snow in weeks We've picked up 4.4 inches of snow since October 31st. We've had 4.4 inches of snow. There is probably maybe northern Minnesota and even down in southern Minnesota, Rochester down through Albert Lee, Worthington, Blue Earth, the I-90 corridor is where you would have to go to find snow in Minnesota and northern Minnesota. That's Duluth, northward through the Boundary Waters, maybe Bemidji, over towards northwestern Minnesota. You might see a few inches of snow on the ground, but certainly far below our seasonal average of what we typically see here in the Twin Cities and across the state of Minnesota and the upper Midwest. That would include Iowa, Michigan, as well as the Dakotas, as we are well below our seasonal average as far as precipitation and well above our seasonal average as far as temperatures are concerned. So let's move on with the rest of the forecast and take a look at our national radar and take a look at the hot spots across the country where active weather is currently taking place. Okay, so as we take a tour of the active weather across the country right now, our first stop is going to be on the West Coast, where we have the atmospheric river that's been providing copious amounts of rainfall across the western United States, particularly the state of California, where we have seen torrential rains that has caused severe flash flooding. And as far as LA and San Diego is concerned, we've picked up as much as a foot of rain in some locations, especially here over northwestern Los Angeles County, Ventura County, and into Santa Barbara County. We've seen the heaviest rainfall, where in excess of 12 inches of rain has fallen across Southern California over the last 3 days. Still more rain in the forecast here across the Southwest, and we're going to be seeing that heavy rain with another storm system that is going to be working its way across Southern California and into the desert Southwest as we head through today, and tonight. We're going to see that next round of heavy rain blow through. This is going to be a very fast-moving shot of rain that's going to fly across the desert Southwest with that heavy rain and stuff. But we have another batch of rain here across northwestern California from the Bay Area into toward the Oregon border with California, where we are seeing more heavy rain along the coast, more valley rain and mountain snow up to the Sierra Nevada and into the Lassen volcanic area, where we're going to be seeing heavy rain, like heavy snow, like around Mount Shasta and places like that. But let's move on to the next area where we're going to be looking at that active weather across the Rockies and look at the heavy snow up through Montana and Wyoming and down through Colorado. Okay, so our next weather hotspot is going to be across the Rockies and the Intermountain West, where we have a storm system that's going to be bringing a lot of snow in across the Rockies down through Colorado. So Denver, you're going to pick up some snow, as well as through Wyoming and to Montana, and we're going to be seeing some that rain and snow across the high plains there. And we're also looking at some snow down across the southern Rockies, across Arizona, and into the state of New Mexico as well. So north of Albuquerque and Gallup, we're seeing some snow along I-40 there up in the mountains. So a lot of snow is going to fall across the Rockies, where we're going to be picking up several feet of additional snow with this current storm system. And there's also going to be an increased risk for avalanche as well, especially over here across parts of southern Colorado, where we're going to be seeing the potential for an increased risk for avalanche here in the mountains as well. So something to be mindful if you're snowboarding or skiing, to be careful and watch your surroundings. If you, in the event that an avalanche event takes place, be mindful of any safety precautions that you can do to protect yourself and those you are enjoying the elements with. So let's move on over into the northern plains and the upper Midwest and take a look at the other side of this storm, where we're seeing that warmer air with the system that's going to be bringing rain across the upper Midwest and the high plains, when we should be seeing snow at this time of the year. Okay, so now we are in the upper Midwest across Minnesota and the northern plains, and I'm glad I was able to figure my camera out and why it was so blurry and bring it back into focus there. So that's good that we can bring back the quality. I'm just like, this is a brand new high-end camera. What's going on here? So here we are as we're taking a look at the upper Midwest. This is Minnesota in the middle of the map here, and we're seeing those clouds. It looks like snow on this depiction, but that's actually rainfall. Those temperatures are in the 40s and 50s out here, so this is rain, not snow, even though it looks like white on the camera. That's just the way this application is. This weather, this radar Omega application. I used to use WSV3, but it has elements that put your computer's safety, your computer at risk to viruses and different things like that. So I had to stop using that application, and we switched to Radar Omega here, where we're going to be taking a look at the radar, and this is that snow over the high plains and the Rockies. These are the plains of Montana and Wyoming, but we're also going to be seeing snow across the northern Rockies here. So we're going to be seeing that snow across the northern Rockies. And we have an area of low pressure that's going to be tracking out of the upper Midwest and into the across the plains and the Midwest, and that's going to be bringing that rainfall. But we're going to see those temperatures drop back behind that low pressure center and the frontal boundaries, multiple frontal boundaries and sub low pressure centers associated with this fairly dynamic setup here across the country today. But we're going to be seeing it still remain warm enough for snow across, for rain across the upper Midwest, but we might see some snow in the evening and overnight hours. But during the day, we're going to see those temperatures drop back into the mid-30s, so it's going to be still warm enough for rain, or maybe even a rain and snow mix. So we have that precipitation to deal with there across the upper Midwest. And that is a look at the trouble hotspots across the country. All points east right now, the weather is fairly benign, so nothing to talk about east at this point, as that warmer air makes its way out toward the east. So we're talking about the Great Lakes, the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, and down across the South and the Southeast as well. We're seeing those warmer temperatures in play across that part of the country as they await the arrival of the storms from the West Coast. So let's move on now and take a look at our weather maps as we talk about your forecast for the remainder of the day and tomorrow and the rest of the week ahead. Okay, so now let's talk about the weather for the remainder of the day as far as the national forecast and the forecast for tomorrow and the remainder of this week, as we take a look at our first map here. And on this one, we are looking at our current live radar, and this is what's going on, or not the live radar, but this is a future depiction of the radar as we head through the day tomorrow and into tomorrow night. And here we are as we have that secondary low pressure that was off the west coast up there that you saw on the previous map. Well, that's what happens to it, as tomorrow we're going to see that system work its way rapidly across the state of California Thursday and through to Thursday evening, and zip across the state of Arizona. So we're going to be seeing that evolve into severe weather across the southern plains and possibly heavy rain and thunderstorms across the southeastern United States as we head into Friday and Saturday. So keep an eye on that little guy right there as it zips on through. But we're seeing these spattered showers here and that instability behind that cold front and that area of low pressure. That's going to be mean thunderstorms across Southern California and Central California, that's indicative of cold air. These little pop-up showers are going to be isolated to scattered thunderstorms, as we have that instability working in behind this front, because this is cold air that's off to the northwest. So that's going to lead to pop-up afternoon thunderstorms out there across Southern California as we head Friday into Thursday and Friday. Okay, guys? So as we take a look at the Rockies and the rain that's still to fall across California and into Arizona, so if you look at here, especially east of San Diego, we're going to still be seeing the potential for 1 to 2 more inches of rainfall, and this is going to be through Friday. We're going to still see the potential for another 2 inches of rain across Southern California and the LA and Orange County, San Diego, and we're going to see maybe another ½ inch of rain across the deserts of Arizona. But you get further to the east and then closer to the rim, we might pick up another inch or so. And then in the mountains here, we're looking at that snow around Flagstaff and above the Mogollon Rim. So Flagstaff, Keeneland, maybe Sholo and Pine Top, we're going to be seeing mountain snow out there. This is I-40 right along this corridor right here. So the I-40 corridor, maybe I-25 into Colorado, we're going to be seeing mountain snow for you guys. All right. So a lot of winter still to come across the western half of the United States. And we have a flash flood threat still that continues across Arizona and into Southern California. With the remaining rainfall that's expected to come, we are looking at the possibility of more flash flooding across Arizona and in southwestern California. So LA, Orange County, and San Diego County, Riverside, San Bernardino counties, we're going to see the potential for more flooding from heavy rainfall. Those heavy showers and those thunderstorms can still produce some localized areas of flash flooding down hillsides and things like that. Okay, guys? And in Arizona as well, the potential for afternoon showers and thunderstorms is that cold air instability works its way through, and we get the daytime heating to help spark off some of those pop-up showers, and thunderstorms can also lead to a chance of flash flooding, as well as some of those brief showers can be very heavy, locally heavy rainfall with some of those showers and thunderstorms. Here is that mountain snow that we're expecting across the Rockies, and we could pick up some locations picking up as much as 2 feet of snow with the additional snowfall, and in areas across east of the Cascade Mountain Range in Oregon and Washington. And we're going to see those northern Rockies, and we're going to see areas still able to pick up 24 to 36 inches of snow. So still a lot of snow is going to fall across the Rocky, which is going to make for excellent ski conditions across the western United States. So enjoy that, folks. A little blessing in all this madness and disaster for the skiers or folks who love winter sports out west. But if you're here in the Midwest and you like winter sports, like they like to do what they call cross-country skiing, and we don't have any snow to do that. A friend of mine, their sons do cross-country for their high school, and because of their snow, their whole cross-country season is pretty much a wash, and now they have to travel to do any kind of cross-country skiing. They have to go to other states that might have some snow. You have to hunt for the snow right now because it's really bad out there. It's really bone dry as far as snow on the ground across the Midwest. It's unbelievable. And again, there's those instability showers, those showers and thunderstorms down here across Southern California, and we're going to be seeing those spotty showers out there. Now, some of those bad boys will be heavy, and they're going to last only a couple minutes. Very brief, heavy downpours is going to be possible. Some thunder and lightning is going to be associated with that in areas of gusty winds. And also, when you have these conditions, water spouts are common off the coast. So if you are in, say, Santa Barbara down to southern Orange County or LA, Long Beach, in that area, typically see water spouts in these types of conditions, as well as we have that cold, unstable air and that rotation in the atmosphere because of that coastal eddy. So we have that low pressure spinning through the area right along the coast, and the curvature of the coastline itself helps to increase the possibility of water spouts off the coast of Long Beach and off the coast of Santa Barbara and Ventura and down into Orange County as well. So a lot's going on in the weather. Very complicated weather forecast going on here. So we have our flash flood threat. There's a flood watch across all of Southern California and southwestern Arizona. The National Weather Service felt it prudent to issue a flood watch for the continuance of the rainfall. So we do have one area here just north of I-8 in San Diego where there is a flash flood warning because heavy rain continues to fall over that region. So we have a flash flood warning here in north central San Diego County. There's a little small area just north of I-8 where there's a flash flood warning. And there it is right there. Here's a better depiction of it right there. I don't know if you can see that little red piece right there. That's where our flash flood warning is. Elsewhere in the green is a flash flood watch across Southern California, and that is going to last through this Wednesday morning out there, but it's going to continue, I think, throughout the day today because we're going to still see scattered showers and those isolated thunderstorms beginning to affect Southern California. So here is your flash flood threat, and this is going to be for today, where we're going to see the likelihood of flash flooding across Southern California, Los Angeles, the big cities here, and then we're also going to see it over Arizona as well. The potential there for flash flooding across California and Arizona. Taking a look at winter precipitation across the the northern Rockies and the high plains of Montana and into the Dakotas, we are going to see a winter weather advisory across eastern Montana, western North Dakota, and western South Dakota, and parts of Wyoming, where we're going to be seeing some light snow, so a winter weather advisory. We have a great winter storm warning across parts of Montana too, like Great Falls. This is where the area where close to where Glacier National Park is. So the Big Sky territory, we're going to be seeing that winter storm warning across that region. And as well down to Idaho as well, we got the potential for winter storm conditions. So here is a look for the radar depiction that we're going to see about 5 o'clock this afternoon across the upper Midwest, where we're going to see that rainfall across Minnesota mostly, and we're going to see that rain extending into Minnesota, Wisconsin, down to Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, and Kansas. We're going to see that plume of moisture, but it's going to all be rain, no snow, as those temperatures will be in the mid-50s out there with that rainfall. But we'll see snow across northwestern Minnesota, far northwestern Minnesota, North Dakota, and into Montana, and down to Wyoming and Colorado is where we're going to see the snow. But if you're west here, east here, you're going to see that warmer air and that rainfall. Some of that rain could be heavy at times. There could also be some rumbles of thunder out there as well. So some showers and thunderstorms are going to be possible all the way up into the upper Midwest. This is not where we typically look for thunderstorms in February across the Midwest. That's going to be more further to the south, not up in Minnesota and Wisconsin. It's going to have a thunderstorm potential. There is an actual thunderstorm. The SPC puts out their thunderstorm forecast every day, and they actually have it for the upper Midwest. But we're not expecting severe thunderstorms, but just general non-severe thunderstorms are going to be possible as we head into the next couple of days. Here is the snowfall forecast for the northern plains as well, and we're going to be looking at the potential where some folks can pick up 3 to 5 inches of snow here across parts of Montana and into North Dakota as well. We're going to see the potential there for 3 to 5 inches of snow. Heavier snowfall amounts over western Montana, like near Great Falls, and then into parts of Idaho and Wyoming as well. Around Glacier National Park and Yellowstone is where we could pick up that heavier snowfall. But Minneapolis is just going to be on the northwestern edge of where there could be an inch or less, or maybe a dusting of snow northwest of Minneapolis. Minneapolis is actually not going to receive any snow, but northwest of town, maybe St. Cloud points northwestward might pick up a dusting to an inch of snow as we head into Friday with this storm system. So here we are now as we talk about that storm system that's moving across the upper Midwest. So we're going to see mild air place. We're seeing mild air in place over much of the country, especially from this point eastward. We're going to be seeing that warmer air coming up from the south and the southwest. That colder air is going to come down from the northwest behind this cold front right here and this area of low pressure. We see our warm front as that air is lifting to the north. We see that warm front lifting to the north. So we're going to see this is what's called a triple point. So this is still going to give us enough dynamics for general non-severe thunderstorms in this area. We're going to see general rainfall with a few isolated embedded thunderstorms are going to be possible. So don't jump if you think you hear some thunder, but you might hear some thunder that might sound like it's in the distance because it's a very weak thunderstorm, so there might be a low rumble. So don't be surprised if you hear that across Minnesota and Iowa down through Kansas and Nebraska as well. But I'm not expecting severe weather with this activity. But then on the backside of that cold front, once that cold front sweeps on through, we're going to see much cooler temperatures pulled in south out of Canada. So we're going to see that colder air rush in. However, there is a but. But this, even though it's going to be 20 degrees cooler than what we're seeing now, it's still going to remain above average for February 7th. We should be about 26 degrees with that colder air coming in. We're still going to be in the mid to upper 30s. So still very warm out there across the upper Midwest, even though it's cooler. Still above average. Still too warm for snow for much of this region. Some areas might pick up a little bit, but any significant snowfall is not going to happen at this time. And a day or two ago, the GFS, I never rely on the GFS, but the Euro doesn't go out as far as the GFS does. And the GFS depicted the potential for a snowstorm across Minnesota. Not the biggest, it was just maybe a couple inches or so of snow potential, but it's not there anymore. I knew it was this is why there's a lot of folks on YouTube who want to be on internet weather guys who are not going to school, they're not getting their degree, they're just, they might know a couple of weather terms, they might know a couple of definitions, but they don't know how to apply that information that they know. They know the terms, but they may not know how to apply it. They may not know how to utilize that information. And they might know how to look at a computer model, and they'll say one thing: the computer models are just a guideline. You're not supposed to use that and say, oh, this is what the forecast is. It is a guideline. It is just a tool to help you kind of get a general idea of what could happen and what might happen, but you're going to always have to tweak it, fine tune it. So you have to use multiple models. You have to use the Euro, the Canadian, the HRR. You have to use the NOM. There are 100 different weather models that you can use, and there's a lot of things you have to compare, contrast, do a little bit of math. You have to do your own knowledge, your understanding of the atmosphere. This is why we take physics. This is why we take chemistry, because you have to know how the atmosphere works and what it's made out of, and all those big juicy things to come up with the weather forecast. It's not, oh, the model said this. It's not how it works, guys. So please stop telling lies to get views on the internet, gentlemen. Okay, so there we are, still looking at those warmer than average temperatures. 53 degrees across the Twin Cities today, and we're going to see those temperatures in the mid-40s across Wisconsin. Look at that, almost 60 degrees down there in Des Moines, Iowa. 62 in North Platte, Nebraska. and we have a 44 in Rapid City, South Dakota, and we have that 38 in Bismarck, North Dakota. And that's actually quite a bit above average for Bismarck, because Bismarck should be about 25, not 38. So we are looking at those temperatures to be way above average. That's just going to continue, guys. Enjoy that. Even though it's going to be cooler, still going to be above average. That's been the story of this winter. No snow and above average temperatures. We're going to see that continue. So tomorrow we're going to see a high of 53 degrees across the Twin Cities here in Minnesota. And we're going to see 50 in Green Bay, 61 down in Des Moines, Iowa. And we're going to see 51 in North Platte. You know why it's going to go from 63 to 51 tomorrow? Because the cold front will pass through that region. So it's going to begin to cool down. And that's going to get even cooler as that front gets further through their area. And we're going to see those temperatures drop down into the 40s across parts of Nebraska. So a cool down is on the way. So say goodbye to the extremely above average temperatures to just above average temperatures. All right, guys. It's pretty phenomenal. So when we get to Friday, look at this. Minneapolis, 35 degrees on your Friday. That's still 10 degrees above average. 9 to 10 degrees above average. 42 in Green Bay. Rapid City is going to be 39. 31 in Bismarck. 29 in Fargo. A little closer to average. That cold area is a little bit more intense over northwestern Minnesota and North Dakota and northern Montana. That cold area gets a little bit more serious. But still above average slightly. Still above average. Still about 10 degrees above average here. And that's about as cold as it's going to get over the next 7. Well, let me correct that. Because when we get to like Monday and Tuesday, we might have a day with the high temperature is 29. And that's still a few degrees above average. So we just can't get to where we are stupidly cold. But we're not going to see any precipitation in that time frame at all, even though it's going to be colder and cold enough for snow when we get to early next week here in the Twin Cities. But that's only going to last a day or so, and then those 30s and 40s are going to come right back. We're going to have another round of mild weather the middle of the month, toward the end of the month, and we'll see what happens at the end of the month in early March. Okay, so here is our current situation across the country. We're all in a situationship with this El Nino, guys. It is a situationship. All right, so here we go. Here is that rainfall that we're seeing across the upper Midwest and down through the Midwest and parts of the high plains. We're seeing that rainfall. There is a cold front there. There's another cold front and a trough here. We have our stationary front across the upper Midwest. Look at the snow across the high plains into Canada and the northern Rockies. We see that snow down through Utah, Nevada, and into the mountains of California, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado. There we go. But look at the eastern half of the country. There is an outbreak. Now, do you know that there was a storm that has produced tons of snow and for folks in poor Canada? If you are in, say, Labrador, Newfoundland, New Brunswick, Quebec, they've had snow. That snow is this high. Literally, when they open their door, they've had like feet of snow across. They had a snowstorm that lasted for 5 days across northeastern Canada. Right? That's where our snow is. It's in Canada. Not here. Not over the U.S. So, look at that. There's part of that snow. That's what that storm system is wrapping up there across Canada. That's going to mainly stay over Canada and head on off toward the North Atlantic. But look at this warmth moving in across the western half of the United States. Beautiful warm weather. Going to continue for now. Look at these isobars. Look at that. That's coming from the north to the south. From the south to the north. Excuse me. From the south to the north. That's pulling up that warmer air off of the Gulf, down over Mexico, from the southern U.S. That's that warmer air being transported That is called warm air advection. Guys who want to be YouTube weather guys who don't have their degree, look up what that term is. You're going to learn those terms if you get your degree. Warm air advection, cold air advection. You're going to learn all those terms. That's synoptic meteorology. Okay? So, alright, so here is our current temperatures. Actually, this is a little bit old. I need to update this map, but this map is a lot of work to update. But it taps in to weather stations, and I can click a button, and they will all bloop, 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 bloop. You just wait a couple minutes, and they all bloop, 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 bloop. They all fill up, and no change, but I haven't done that. But anyway, here we are as we take a look at the most recent temperatures that I've taken. But here we go with the colder air still in the northeast there. It's still early in the morning, guys. This is an early video today. So, good, there we are. The warmth coming up from the south. Still beautiful morning out there across the country. Look at the winds blowing across the Rockies. So we have that snowstorm coming across the Rockies and parts of the plains. So we're seeing some strong winds out here. Look at these winds across Colorado down through Arizona. We're getting winds up to 30 to 40 miles per hour through here. So a lot of winds out west over the Rockies associated with that advancing storm system. And here is our graphical weather forecast. And this is going to be for this afternoon. And on this graphical weather forecast, we are going to be seeing that storm system advancing out of the plains or into the plains and into the upper Midwest. Look at these isobars. That's that southerly flow. So that's that warmer air advancing up toward the Canadian border. So that's those temperatures in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and maybe even some 80s down along the Gulf Coast that we're seeing that's trying to work their way north. But because the sun angles are lower up north, those temperatures will be modified and they won't have the same impact up here as they do down there with the higher sun angles. See, this is what you learn when you actually get your degree in meteorology. Alright, so here is your forecast for Thursday morning. Or did I skip a day? I skipped one. Okay, afternoon. Okay. Am I missing one? One. Okay, afternoon. This is our afternoon forecast. Okay, Thursday morning. Alright, I guess I'm missing one. Am I missing one? Where's my evening forecast? I don't see it. I'm looking around the camera. The camera's right there, and there's big monitors behind it. So I can see me on the camera, and I can see my maps that's being projected on this monitor. Green screen magic, guys. So anyway, tomorrow, so this afternoon, there we go. There's tomorrow morning. So Thursday morning, we're going to see that rainfall here across Minnesota. But look, it's still going to be warm enough for rain. But look at what happens up here across the Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. Look at this. Look at that colder air. So we're going to see snow. Here's our low pressure center right there. This is a close low. So here is our low pressure center. There's that colder air coming down out of Canada. So we're seeing that snow over the Dakotas and Montana and Wyoming and Canada. We're seeing that cold air. But that warmer air down to the south, warm air advection, cold air advection on the backside. And we also call that theta E advection. Yeah. Alright, here is your forecast for today. This is a tapped out forecast. This is a forecast. So we are going to be seeing that 52 again here in Minneapolis. Temperatures in the 40s in the northeast and the mid-Atlantic states. 50s down in the mid-Atlantic. Washington, it's going to be 51. And we're going to be seeing those beautiful, nice temperatures. A little bit chilly right here, guys. A little bit of a cool spot. Right in here, I think it should be a little bit warmer. Those temperatures are in the 50s there across parts of the Ohio Valley. That that real warm air hasn't quite hit that area, but it's going to be on its way in that area. So, slow moving storm systems because of the Omega block that's currently over the U.S. So, it's causing storm systems to get locked up along the West Coast. Did you see how long it took that atmospheric river to clear out of California. It rained in LA for 2 whole days. God damn. It just was ridiculous amounts of rain, the flooding, the power outages. It was a hot mess. That was El Nino, super El Nino. And more rain is on the way. It's just not going to stop. It's not going to stop. More rain is coming. So that is your weather forecast, guys. My name is Mr. G. It was my pleasure to hook you guys up today. That was a lot of fun. I think my energy is better in the morning with the morning forecast because when I do them in the evening, I've already had a full work day. I'm tired, and then it's so I have the day off today. So yeah. So yep. All right, guys. Thanks for watching me. Leave your like. I'm hungry too. I need to go make some breakfast. Go make some oatmeal or something. All right. Leave your likes, comments. Feel free to subscribe on YouTube. Follow on TikTok. I will be back tomorrow with another video, but tomorrow's video will be in the evening because I have to work tomorrow morning. So have a great day. Nothing but love for you. Thank you for watching me, and bye-bye.